All right, let's see if we are live here on Sunday. Yep, Super Bowl Sunday. All right, I'm on a little early today because, as you saw, I broke everything up into three things, and I want to cover all three things. And I got a feeling I'm going to use up an hour, easy. And I got a lot to do today. First of all, I got to just get into the fetal position and start crying over this game that I'm a wreck over. And I'll explain why. Just checking a few things. Okay, there we go. Let me pull this up. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? Let's pull that up. Okay, that's there. That's there. All right, we're pretty good. All right, so let me take a sip of water. I've already walked the dogs, got the paper, all the usual stuff. Had a cold during the week. Oh, God, it killed me. Ugh. So let's start off with the Sam Healey thing, okay? Because I want to talk a little bit about some things that happened there, and I want to clarify some things because I misstepped when I said something. So I do want to be fair. So I did that video saying I don't give a shit, and I still don't, okay? And I think people misinterpreted what I don't care about, but I don't even care about that. But I did get a text, a very long text from Sam, um, apologizing for me getting dragged into this dumb thing. Which, I mean, okay, that's fine and everything, okay, and I appreciated it, okay. I started going. You see, I have two phones. I work for the military, so I have my military phone, which I try to use just that phone. So I have my emails attached, my email address attached to it most of the time. But my phone will circle through certain things, and if they flag it, they just won't push it through. I have a personal one, which I don't carry around that much. But he, a couple years ago, when I had the tumor in my back, Sam did reach out to me and was hoping um, that I was okay. Um, yeah, he asked how the treatments were going and things like that, which I appreciate. And from time to time, I would write him and wish him Merry Christmas, Happy Father's Day, this, that, the other. We just you know, the last time I heard from him was November 2023. So I wasn't wrong. We don't communicate much. The time I was talking when I was sick, when I nearly died, when I dropped down to like 100 and, what was it, 118 pounds. You guys saw it, and I still kept on streaming like an idiot. um, and um, I almost got beat up about 5 years ago, and I used up a couple of my 9 lives. Um, I never heard from anybody, a couple people, but when I was really worried about that tumor in my back, and we thought the worst, and they were able to take care of it and get rid of it, which was weird because we were all worried about me, and it turned out my son, who had a who had cancer in his back, believe it or not. Mine was in the shoulder for some reason. And we could never figure out how something like that would happen, but who knows? It could be whatever you eat and all the other goofy stuff that goes on on the planet. But no, I never heard from Sam then, and like I said, and I'll stick to it. He I'm looking through the making sure I don't miss anything here. So forgive me because I want to be fair. I don't want to say well the guy this and you know I can apologize for something. I mean, I promised him I was going to call him. I got so busy this week, I didn't call him. I may try to call him next week and just talk to him, see how he's doing and this, that, and the other, The other thing is, because I want to be fair, you know, I don't dislike Sam, you know. What I don't care about is, and I feel bad about is I thought we were better friends then, and I would drive, especially with the Dice Tower, twice a month I would drive from here to Miami. I would have to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning, get to Miami by 7, or Homestead by 7:30. Okay, tape all day, then drive all the way back home the same time, and I was doing that twice, 3 times a month to film stuff and do battling brushes and all the other stuff that Sam and I used to do together, and tape and be part of the Dice Tower. It was a lot not living near them and trying to keep my production up and stuff like that. That was another reason why I kind of went, I'm going to try to do this on my own, because, that drive would kill you after a while, especially trying to go down I-95. I don't care where you are in the United States, all of I-95 is a nightmare in construction. But, I really, took to heart the things that I did, and I thought we would talk more, about gaming and stuff like that. We'd talk about families and stuff like that. We never talked politics or anything like that. Who gives a shit about fucking politics? And that's the thing that people don't seem to care. Like I wanted to clear that up with the Sam stuff. Do I care about the argument between the Dice Tower and Sam Healey? No, I do not. I do not give a fuck, and I will continue to say that. Okay? Whatever the issue is, it has nothing to do with me. As far as the political issue itself, guess what? I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an opinion here. Okay? All right? You are all lemmings. You are all idiots. Okay? The ones that take all this stuff so goddamn serious. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Divide and conquer. Okay? Because there's something out there that's controlling everything and putting all kinds of money into its pocket. Okay? And we're so busy fighting against each other about stupid little issues. Most of the time stupid issues. There are bigger issues. But all the corruption and murder and things done for money is disgusting. And you're always going to point across the other guy instead of talking. Okay? The problem is, okay, and I'm going to make this real short because I'm not a political person, but this is what I believe. Okay? Neither side is right and neither side is wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? It's the generations. The problem is you grew up and you don't know how to lose. Okay? At halftime of your little soccer games when your parents were ignoring you, okay, and would just drop you off for an activity and were busy with their lives and not worried about yours. Okay? And everybody won. Nobody ever won. Nobody ever lost a game. So you don't know how to lose. Okay? Or you don't know how to negotiate with each other. You can't talk. You can't have somebody have a different opinion. If they have a different opinion, you are so freaking offended. Instead of listening and maybe taking something from it and making them understand why you believe what you believe, okay, even though what they may believe makes your blood boil, okay, and maybe coming to some agreement and maybe going, there's got to be some common ground here. Nobody does that anymore. Okay? That's why we have shutdowns. That's why we have all these other things, because like spoiled children. Okay? Why don't you guys come together and go and say, hey, Congress, Senate, government, Illuminati, whoever. How come people don't eat? How come people don't have jobs? How come this one, we're holding you all accountable, not just this guy or that guy or this section or that. They make you deflect. It's 300 Maple Street, folks. Okay? If you and some of you are too young to understand. And what I mean by that, go watch that Twilight Zone episode and try to figure out why we don't have the good shows that we do now, because they don't want you to think. Okay? Back when I was younger, the Twilight Zone, Martians come, okay? And just enough to everybody saw something in the sky, and then all the power goes out. Okay? And then they would turn, the Martians would turn on a light, but the people all came together, and in the beginning they're trying to figure out what's going on. Why did we lose all the power? Okay? But all of a sudden a light will go on. Why's Charlie's house got a light on? Okay? Oh, hey, how come this happened? Or how come his car starts? And how come this, that? Who's that guy walking down the street? And they feed upon each other and they eat each other, because that's what they wanted. Because we'll destroy ourselves. We'll prevent ourselves from ever making things better, because we'll be attacking ourselves instead of the real problem. And I'll never forget the end of it. And they go, yeah, we do this in every town. We don't even have to do a thing. They do it all for us. And that's what we are doing as a people. Go back, watch Soylent Green. Go back, watch all these intelligent and everything from Rod Serling, from Harlan Ellison, Ray Bradbury. I can go on and on and on about how power and technology, this thing right here, okay, the greatest invention in the world, and I'm on it right now, the internet. The most disastrous invention in the world, the internet. Okay? And why? I've been to a lot of places. Okay? In my career, I've been around the world about 3 times, and I got to see these things. There are people that never leave their town that can watch how a Russian town deals with minus 80 degrees and how they survive. And it's fascinating to see how other people live. But also, this thing is used as a propaganda machine. Okay? And the internet is used to fill you full of false stuff or point you a certain way and make you believe what they believe, or no matter what side it is, and divide and conquer and destroy you. Okay? That's why I don't get involved with it, because I see it, because I grew through it, and it's only going to get worse with this next generation. Because, when cowards sit there and email me, okay, and say all kinds of things, well, you're a veteran, so you care more. Why should I conform to what you think? Okay? Give me the reasons why. Oh, you're just sad. I'm sad? Really? You're sad. You're sitting in your mom's basement with your Batman shirt on and your purple hair and waiting for her to come down with the pizza rolls, okay, at 11:30. And if she doesn't do your laundry, you're just going to wear that same Batman shirt for the next week. And you're going to sit on the internet and comment about everybody else, because that's when your brave is behind a keyboard. That's what it's about. Okay? And if you get in front of somebody and you decide to voice your opinion, you can't voice it. You got to scream it. You got to motherfuck somebody. You got to spit on somebody. You can't sit and talk like a human being, because you're so unhappy with your lives and you don't know what to do next. Okay? You feed and you point and you blame it on somebody else instead of looking in the mirror and going, you know what? I got to fix myself before I can. How do I save the world if I can't save myself? Okay, old Todd Rundgren song. Listen to music. Listen to music and how people used to talk about things. Okay? Okay? Listen to how people used to make music. Queensryche, brother killed brother for a profit of another. Okay? And some of the songs that talked about, hey, come together. Come together, love each other. You can be different, and yet come together for a common goal. This isn't political, what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is nobody is right if everyone is wrong. That's right. But if you can't come together and find out what everybody needs, you have to give a little in life, folks. Okay? Nothing's 100% victory. Okay? Life's tough. You have your ups and downs. You're going to take your wins, you're going to take your losses. I always tell the story, okay? I always tell the story about how I learned how I drove myself. I want to win. I want to win. And how hard it is to lose. Okay? But if you don't know how to lose, you don't know how to win either. Okay? And, you know, I talk about, they've heard it before, so I'm not going to dredge it up again. But I just keep on saying, you know, the same thing. We have to give to get. We have to understand and try to see through someone else's eyes, even though we may not agree with things. And I'm talking on all sides of the fence, that in order for us to be great, we have to come together as a people and care about each other. There are families that, because of politics, they won't talk to each other. What? Really? And meanwhile, politicians, all of them, are stuffing money in there. You have a $150,000 job and somebody all of a sudden comes up with $35 million within a couple of years. How does that happen? And it's only politicians that get that lucky, okay? Deals, backdoors, all kinds of things. People... A great movie, and even though it is a very democratic movie, okay, against the Republicans, but the message is the same. It doesn't matter. You could flip the script 15 different times and stuff. Was The American President. It was a love story, but some of the things that were said in that and how it was said, you know, and when the guy gave the speech at the end and he says, they make you think, they try to remind you of a better time when things were simpler and easier. Things never get easier, they get harder. Okay, because the more technology, the more this, the more that, the more we use this and that, the problems become different and harder. And then they want to deflect it, and in order to win elections, they got to make you fear it and point and try to say who's to blame for it. Okay, instead of saying how they're going to fix it. And I always took that, and I always watched that, and that always meant a lot with me, to me. And I always said, you know something? It's right. We need to come together as a people. Okay, simple as that. That is as far as I'm going to go, because I'm not going to get in pissing matches of what bathrooms people should use and stuff like that, because that stuff is really so minuscule. And if they're going to deflect you with that and you don't see the bigger issue, it is what it is. Okay? Because I don't think anybody's right a lot of times. I really don't. Until we can come together and work together and care about each other as human beings and start acting human, it's just going to go down this path, and I'm okay, because I'm on my 20-something acre farm, okay, isolated, self-sufficient, and I'm protecting mine, okay? And that's what it's going to come down to, folks, and it's simple as that. It's as simple as that. So as far as the Sam Healey thing, you know, I may call him at some point. I may try to this week. You know, first of all, and on my other phone, I want to clear one thing up. He went to a Seahawk preseason game and he sent me some pictures, and I missed those. I didn't see that. So, essentially, I don't know if it was this year or last year he went. Yeah, I think it was last year, and I found him, of course. But I hadn't heard from the guy in years, and all of a sudden I get flooded with all these emails. So yeah, I am frustrated because it's now. Well, what do you got to say? Well, I got nothing to say. I don't freaking care. And then everybody wants to go after the dice tower. Okay, well you're the big dog. When you're the big dog in the yard, okay, one of the big dogs in the yard, people are going to nitpick, and the people that don't like you are going to attack you, and the people that love you are going to stick by you. Figure it out. I don't give a fuck. Okay, it ain't my problem. Okay, there people want to be marks and follow the dice tower and go to their conventions just to see them. Okay, pay all kinds of money. They go on cruises and stuff like that. Hey, more power to you. If it makes you happy, if it makes you, take away some of the stresses in life and stuff like that, go ahead. Enjoy yourself. Okay? Have the best time in the world. I have no problem with it. Okay? It's what you do with your money and things like that. Go ahead. Okay? I don't care. All right? You want to die on a sword for him? Go ahead, do it. It's not for me. I don't care. Okay? And that's why I said I just don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. What I do hate, though, is there's this little rinky-dink channel, okay, who puts up this AI picture of this girl, okay, and wants to comment on everything, and wants to bash don't trust any reviewers, going for those hot takes, okay, views. It's all about views and trying to get subs, okay, no matter what you say. But you hide yourself. You never showed yourself on camera, and you can comment, particularly on the Sam thing and some other things and stuff like that, and nobody's good, and we shouldn't listen to anybody, well, and even us, trying to deflect a little. Never saw their faces. Okay? I think that's cowardism. Okay? And trying to get, a little rinky-dink channel, just trying to get, hey, I'm over here. Okay? Instead of doing good business. I'm going to tell you something. Do I get free stuff? Sure do. Okay? I write companies, hey, can you send me a copy of this? 90% they tell me to go piss in a barrel. Okay? Because they only want to do business with the big boys. That's fine. Okay? Do I have sponsors on this channel? Sure do. Trading Card Market. Don't forget my boys, Trading Card Market. Okay? Are they very good to me? Yeah, Steve and I have been friends for 15 years. Am I doing Magic and Pokemon? No, I don't like those games. Okay? Alright? My grandkids love Pokemon. Do I play Pokemon? I think it's boring. Magic. I think it's been diluted into a pile of crap. That's the main stuff that he sells. And I won't make videos of it. I'll make a couple of videos if something interests me. We've done some box openings here for it. I told you to get the cards. If you're gonna follow those games, go get those games at Trading Card Market. And I probably would get more views and help him more. But he knows that I'm going to be true to who I am. And I'm going to do Godzilla, okay? Renaissance of Rivals, which comes out this week. The video I did, a box opening of that. And Hololive, which is a game that I've really enjoyed. And Sorcery I'm enjoying. And Gundam. Games that are off the track that I'm not going to get a lot of views for, but I'm going to do it because I like the game. I don't write a company and ask them to send me a game if I don't think I'm going to like it. And I'm going to tell you something. I've lost a lot of people because they sent me the game and I told them, I don't like this game and I'm not going to do a video for it because I don't want to hurt you. Okay? And they go, okay, I understand that. Thinking maybe that I just wrote them for a free game. But you know something? I'd rather be honest with them. And I have been honest with you. I've come on here and said, this game shit, you know, especially if I paid a ton of money for it. I get pissed because I lost money. If it's sent to me, I'm pissed because, and I'll talk about the game, but I'm not going to give it a glowing review. I've always been pretty honest about that stuff. I pay for a majority of this stuff, and thankful for me, I get credit from Miniature Market over the years. I try to bring stuff in. There's stuff I bring in and it's not good. I don't want to make a video of it. I don't want to hurt anybody. I really don't. It's hard enough. You don't want to hurt somebody's business. But I also have to be honest. But if I'm very excited about something and it's good and I like it, I'm going to come on here. I'm going to sing about it all the time. I've been loving Free League Publishing. Okay? And all the stuff that they've been saying. I'm so excited about that. Osprey. You're going to see some videos on that. I went, holy cow. Oh, no, you saw that. The Warriors of Athena, which is really, really cool. All right, a lot of great stuff. You played Gundam Assembled? No, I have not gotten it yet. I'm hoping to get it. I've been playing Gundam the card game, and I do have over here, I'm going to kind of show you guys real quick. Whoa! Knocking stuff over. I got to do a box opening of Steel Requiem. The card game's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying it. And I've been enjoying, off-the-cuff games. World of Tanks. And Sorcery. Oh, this is good. I wrote the guy to see if he would send me a copy of this. Never heard from him. So I said, hey, Steve, can you give me a discount on this? He goes, yeah, well, I'll send you a couple things. And I bought some stuff too. And even though I never heard from the guy or anything like that, I could be a spoiled brat and go, oh, well, I'm not going to do this. The guy wouldn't even say, no, thanks. We got people that'll do it. Wouldn't answer my emails or anything like that. I could be a little brat or a little whiny bitch, but no, it's about the game. It's not about the company, the guy, this, that, and the other. It's about the game. Is the game fun? Is it something I'm interested in? Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm going to pass that information on to you. Do with it what you want, okay? Because there's a lot of things I like, a lot of people hate, and there's a lot of things that people love I don't like. Azul? No, I don't care about that. All right, and some other games, just not in my wheelhouse. I don't like them. I talk about things that are in my wheelhouse that I like. There's certain companies I really like. There's a lot of companies that people don't like. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I'm going to do things my way. So when these other people want to get political and all this other stuff, I just heard I just saw this thing. See, I'm going to save this for a little later because this is part 3 of this thing, but I'll talk about the little text I just got and all the people that have been reaching out. But to get back to my train of thought, but these guys want to enter the political arena and talk about Sam and the Dice Tower and give all their supposedly objective views when it was very one-sided and they were just idiots. And I just went, okay, so you guys are stirring shit. And I started seeing people trying to capitalize on the Sam and Dice Tower thing. You want to know something? Again, don't care. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. What am I doing here? Hold on. Okay. I was making sure you guys can even hear me, or else I've been talking for no reason. And like I said, I'm going to finish it by saying I don't give a fuck. All right? So when I keep on getting emails, which I think because I made that video was probably the stupidest thing I ever did, because I ended up getting even more emails about, oh, you should care, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I think I just explained to you why I don't, okay? Because, you're marks, okay? and you're going to mark out for whatever side you want, and you don't care if your side's wrong as long as you win, because that's all you ever did was win with your juice boxes and your orange slices at halftime of playing soccer in a game that nobody wins, even though the other team scored 9 goals on you, and Johnny got a pitcher with a little participation trophy. Yeah, that's teaching your kids a lot. Keep that up. I'll tell you what. My grandson wrestles me every day. He hasn't won once. Nor is he. Get bigger. Keep eating. You know something? When grandpa's in a wheelchair, roll him down the hill. Then you won. Okay? All right? Throw dirt on him and laugh at him, when you're doing at it. Then you won. Okay? Beat me up when I'm old. All right? Throw me around. Guess what? You deserve it for all the times I stretched you. But he's going to learn. And so is she. We were playing, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this because it's what I'm talking about isn't political, but it's kind of talking about how the people that write, their mentality versus how I try to raise my kids. Am I right? No. The hardest thing about being a parent, okay, and I think this is where a lot of things go wrong, and this is why I get a ton of these emails, okay, is because of a couple of things here, okay? Parenting is a 24/7 job, okay? Before you had kids, guess what? You worked your job, you came home tired, you were able to rest, get your things ready, get ready to go to work next day. Those of you that have jobs, okay? And that was all fine. Okay? But you add kids into it. And the difference is now you come home from your job. Your job doesn't end. Now it just starts, but a different job. Okay? You've got to manage your children. Okay? Easy to make them. Really hard. Really, really hard to keep them from doing the wrong things. And you want to know something as a parent? Parent is one of the hardest jobs in the world, because kids are going to put you into a position that no matter which way you choose, it could be wrong. And you're going to make a lot of decisions throughout your child's life, and you're going to go, man, I wonder if I just did this differently or that differently. They may turn out fine, they may get themselves into trouble, but you always wonder, did I do them right? Okay? If you care. The problem with a lot of parents today, they have the kids, both of them are focused on their jobs, they come home, they look at their Instagram, their ex, and everything else, and they're not putting their time into their kids. Okay? They're, doing this, doing that, I need a break too. I need a mental health day. I need this. No. If you're going to have kids, if you're going to have a family, if you're going to have people, interact, give everything that you have. Leave it all on the table. So when you leave this earth and you're ready to go, you go, I did everything I possibly could. I don't think I have it in me to be a parent for that reason. That's fine. Nobody says you have to be a parent. But if you're going to be a parent and you want to have these gender reveals, which I think are the most cringiest things in the world, okay? You know when you knew it was a girl or boy? What are you cutting there, Doc? That's the umbilical cord. Damn. Little joke there. My wife went and found out, but we didn't go running around throwing parties and stuff like that. And hey, look at us. We're going to have... No, we're having a kid, and let's prepare. Let's start figuring out how we're going to do this. Okay? My kids. Okay? My son. My daughter-in-law wasn't supposed to have children. Okay? Wasn't at all. She has CF. She's been sick all her life, and she had 2 little miracles. Okay, first she had my little Emery. Okay, and then a year and a half later, we had Robbie. Who's that?
It's me.
Okay. Trying to make sure I don't get you in camera.
Sorry, just grabbing some food.
Please don't tell me you got a shirt on.
Of course.
Okay. I don't want to scare anybody.
Okay.
He's been training. He's a big boy. Come here.
What?
Just come here. You fucking listen to me. I'm your father.
What's up?
Yeah, he's gotten bigger. Yeah, well, you got that shirt on. Okay. All right, get the hell out of here. No, you have. I mean, what a comeback from being sick the way he was. Had cancer. Came back. Lost all kinds of weight. Put on all kinds of muscle. Why? Because I pushed him. Did I ever let you win anything?
Not for free.
There you go, my man. Perfect example. Now I can kid with him. But you know something? If you're going to bring kids into this world, all right? And I don't care what you want them to believe, but make sure that you give them all the necessaries that they have. The love, the compassion, your heart. Give your all. Okay? It's not about you anymore. You have a life to defend. Okay? Be a parent. Okay? Don't go, hey, let me turn on Coco Melon and you could sit there and watch that. Listen, there's times when, hey, do me a favor. Watch this for a half hour. I need a break. I got to do this. I got to do that. Okay? I get it. But when their whole lives are sitting in front of a TV, sitting in, watching these shows that become the parent, that's not what it is. They need your interaction. They need your time. Okay? Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be rewarding? Sometimes. It's like if you buy a ticket to Disney World. You're all hyped up. You get on that plane. It's going to be the best trip in the world. We're going to have so much fun. And it is miserable for 80% of it. Who's crying? Who's dropping ice cream? Who's this one? It's too hot. It's this. An hour to wait on the line to go on a ride. But then all of a sudden you have that little window where you just have that Disney moment. And that's what keeps you coming back. It can be also put to if you're a golfer. Okay? You can stink all day, but you make that one shot 3 inches from the hole, and you go, man, wow, that was a great shot. And you forget about everything else. You really do. Okay? And it keeps you coming back. Wins, losses, it's all part of life. And you got to learn how to do it with grace. Okay? And that's why I'm getting a lot of these emails, is these kids are never taught anything. They sit behind a computer and they can attack anybody and say anything they want. I was written some of the most vile things ever. Okay? And I return to every one of them. I go, okay. All right. I mean, you're behind the keyboard. You want to find me? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. We can talk about it in person, see how it ends up. They don't want to hear that. And they never respond to it. And I'll stay with my stance. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I really don't. Am I on here to get more views? No. I'm here to make sure that everything I say is the truth from my heart. And if I misstepped, like I did, like I said, when I had that thing on my back, Sam did reach out. And I failed to mention that. And I have to be fair to Sam. I do. Do I hate the Dice Tower? Oh, somebody wrote me, is there a problem between you and the Dice Tower? No, I haven't been there in 8-9 years. I see Tom from time to time. I do some things, every once in a while he'll ask me, hey Rob, can you film this and tell me what your top, or introduce these 3 games? Yeah, sure. Because I was part of the Dice Tower one. Was I left out of Dice Tower history? Yeah. I was there for 3 years. Do I care? No. Am I going to whine about it? No. I don't care. That's their thing. Okay? And I don't care. Sam has his life, has his channel, has his wife. I wish him the best. But am I worried about him and the Dice Tower fighting? No, I don't care. Do I care what they're fighting about? No, I don't care about that either. So you want to keep sending emails. I'll keep reading them and laughing. And I reply. Oh, I reply. I reply. I sure do. But I wanted to make sure that my telling of everything is consistent and truthful. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. How many times have I come on here about a game? I go, Slay the Spire. I'm looking right at it. Didn't like it because I was playing the video game, and I go, why do I want to set all this up? This is stupid and everything. And then when I got tired of the video game and started playing the board game, I go, something that's pretty good. I went on camera and said, this is dumb. And I came back on and I said, guess what? I'm wrong. And I felt bad, because I did the company injustice. I didn't give it enough time. Can you admit you're wrong? A lot of people can't. Again, juice boxes and the orange slices. I'm going to read the comments in a minute, so bear with me. A lot of amazing things. We are in a time of technology. We are in a time of divide and just, we have to find a way that all these gifts that we have and start using our brains and start being human and come together. And that's the end of it as far as I'm concerned. And that is my opinion. And that's as much as you'll get out of me. And that's it. Okay? You want to know something? The guy, the clown. Oh, you're a veteran. You should. So I'm still working with the military. I've been for 40 years doing something with the military. Okay, in some function, some way. Okay. I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm an old man, and I'm still working, and I'm gonna have to work for a while because I want everything for my kids. Should I be on some wearing some stupid Hawaiian shirt and sitting back and doing nothing? No, I'm not that type of guy. Can't even get people to get a job. They're too busy trying to fraud everybody so they can stay home and watch The Price is Right. Or Bob Barker, AI. Those things are funny. I have to admit it. As scary as AI is, the wrestling things with Bob Barker and Stephen Hawking and the Queen and Abe Lincoln and George Washington. Oh, God. Mr. Rogers and Tupac. Check it out sometime. You get a good laugh. Sometimes it's good to laugh. All right, let's see. I'm going to read some of these things. I hate how politics have invaded everything now. Can't take a break from it. Yeah, you can't. Okay? Super Bowl. My beloved Seahawks. I'm telling you, I can feel the fixes in. So many people are, all the betting is for the Seahawks, and I didn't want that because that's when they put the fix in. Every single time. The underdogs last 6 years have won that game. Okay? And this is a huge betting margin, and you sure watch, they'll hand it to the Patriot. Because the minute you involve money, okay, in gambling and legalize it, you can also twist and turn the games. We've seen it all season. And I'm hopeful. I really am. And go Seahawks, go. But I ain't feeling good about it. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping, and I just want this one more than anything. And then I can finish out my life a happy man. Just give me this one. And a Maple Leaf one someday, maybe. But I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Oh, God, so stuffy. And oh, excuse me. And I just hope, that we do all right. And everybody's reaching out to me. Herman Lutman, the great Herman Lutman, maker of so many great games. Good luck to your Seahawks today, and hope all is well. And I've gotten a lot of things from my friends because they know for 50 years I've been nothing but a Seahawk fan. And I sent a picture. My friend Steve from Trading Card Market is at the Super Bowl today. He's been there since Friday. He's been going to all high-end parties and stuff like that. And he's picked me up some swag, so let's hope so. I have this thing from 1978 poster. Well, it's a 1978 poster, and it's signed by Jack Patera, Jim Zorn, Steve Largent, and Sherman Smith. I don't know if I can angle it the right way. Hold on. Oh, come on. Yeah, well, yeah. And it's hanging in my closet. My wife, we have a thing. This is the very first banner I ever got. It's been hanging in there. I got that in 1976. My mom sent away for it, and I've had it for 50 years. The thing is older than dirt. And, been through a lot of stuff, a lot of losing seasons, had a lot of winning seasons, had a lot of different things happen. Always the weird stuff in Super Bowls. So, I'm kind of snake bitten. So, we'll see. Can Sam do it? I hope so. I hope so, kid. Go Hawks. I'm taking this shirt off when I get off this channel, okay? And I'm going and I'm wearing my beat up shirt. I have this t-shirt that is just destroyed. I'm going to wear that again today. I wore it yesterday. I haven't cut my hair. I need to cut my hair, even though I'm bald. But I look like, hold on. Oh no, it's not bad today. But when you're old like this and you look like, Marty! Hey, Marty! So I won't get my hair cut till tomorrow. And she's dying for me, because I just try to keep it, at least whatever's left of my lettuce, decent. This hat needs to be washed. Hasn't been washed for the entire season. And it's sweaty and it's got all sweatbands, so she'll wash this afterwards. All right. So I just wanted to be over. All right. And what is it? 8:30. We'll have a pretty good idea 12 hours from now, and I'm hoping it's going the right way, and that's what I'm hoping for. Go Hawks. Go Hawks. Go Hawks. Go. All right, so let me answer some of these things. Okay. We were talking about the 300 Maple Street. Yep, keep people busy fighting each other while they are lining their pockets. It's true. That's a hilariously descriptive. Well, I try to be. Nobody is right if everyone is wrong. That's right. Another great song. Lyrics, by the way. Yeah, very true. Dinner with Andre. I've never seen that. I just might watch it today. Hello. I am Mom Gamer, but changed my name and lost my subs. Miss you, brother. Oh no, Mom Gamer. I'm so sorry. How could you change your name and lose your subs? Oh no. Chapter Chaser BC. Oh, cool. All right, well, go everybody that used to follow Mom Gamer, go check out Chapter Chasers BC. You played Gundam Assemble. That's supposed to be out soon. I haven't seen it. I can't wait to get it. I do have models for it, and because I do have the starter boxes, and they sent models, so I put those together, which go together real easy. And I'm working on a couple of them here. I started painting them. I've got to finish them with my grandson. I don't think I have it in me to be a parent making the wrong decisions for them. I agree with that. I do agree with you, though. putting everything into your family. And I have. I can go to my grave knowing that I did the best I could. Was I perfect? No. You know, kids are always going to give you, and I just want to jump back to this real quick and finish a couple thoughts there. You know, my son gave me a hard time for a couple of years, and a lot of people would give up. I think I parented harder than ever before, and I always felt, especially with my children, that there were decisions that I made that if I just did something differently, it would have been better. I grew up, you know, my mom. It's funny, and I want to go back to a couple other points. You know, growing up was tough. All right, but I don't blame my mom. I don't blame my dad. They did the best they could. My mom was a nurse for a long time, and we were always getting dumped at my grandmother's, who lived in the inner city. Okay, and this kind of ties everything together a little bit. And I want to let you know how things really were. My father was a cop and was always working. This guy worked some insane hours. He wasn't an emotional guy where he would give you affection or talk to you and parent you. He tried to show how he cared by working hard and bringing money in to make sure that you had whatever you needed. Okay, I get it. He did the best he could, all right? But we spent a lot of time with my grandmother, Polish grandmother. She lived in her city, New Haven. And you know, we were there from Friday, you know, a lot of times all weekend. And so we get out of school, get dropped off, mother go and do whatever she was going to do. There were also some issues there, and I don't want to get into that, you know, where, I start crying, oh, mommy, daddy didn't love me, that kind of thing. But they had some issues, and they would dump us off. It was easier to do. And it was amazing because we would go out, sit on the porch, and they're all different types of kids. But they were just kids. You didn't worry about race. You didn't worry about upbringing. You know, you learned each other. You liked each other. You fought. You played. You tried to stay out of trouble. We were all bored, okay? But so we would find things to do, playing stickball, playing football, okay, in the street until a car would come. Doing all kinds of things, you know, and seeing everybody have different upbringings. Some of the kids didn't have parents, and that cared or anything like that, or they were so busy drinking and fighting with each other. Sometimes they would knock on my grandmother's door. Hey, is Rob and my brother's there? You know, can I come here and watch TV with you guys? Yeah. And they would sit and we would watch, and then when they would go look for their kid, they always knew where pretty much they were. They were with us, and we were doing different things, you know. And a lot of these kids had tough upbringings, but we always had fun. We made our own fun. We didn't sit there with the technology and stuff like that. We found things to do. It was funny because I always think about Saturday nights, and a lot of them, when they knew we were there, my grandmother would go into her room in this apartment. And it was a big apartment. It was a 2-floor apartment. And she would watch Lawrence Welk, Carol Burnett. This is going way back. And then probably fall asleep. But we were out in the living room, and we used to sleep in a pull-out sofa couch. But we'd have a couple of the kids over, because of the lineup of TV shows we watch. Chiller. Well, it would start with UFO, Outer Limits. We would go break up, go eat dinner, then everybody come back over. It was Chiller, Creature double feature, depending which movie we liked better. Then at 11 o'clock, okay, no, 11 o'clock, it was always some kind of half-hour show we would find. Oh God, it depended what frequency we got because we only got 4 channels. But usually on UHF, it was either Second City TV or it was there was Tales of the Dark Side in the 80s. But there was they would show a Twilight Zone on a channel, or there was always something. We would watch that. But at 11:30, the Monopoly money was out, okay? Because Racing from Yonkers was on for a half hour before professional wrestling at 12 o'clock. And we would get ready, and everybody would have a certain amount of Monopoly money, and we would bet on the horses. And one guy would be the banker. And whoever at the end of the half hour had the most money won for that night. And it was funny. We would go with results. You had to make sure that you had everything in before post. It was crazy. But we laughed. That's how we got through that half hour, waiting for what was going to happen on wrestling. Then we would watch wrestling. And then right after wrestling, there was another monster thing that would go on till 2:30 in the morning. And everybody pass out. And then we wake up Sunday morning. And then, get through Sunday, whether it was football day or if it was the summer, we were out doing something or just, spending time together. And I remember those days. And you didn't worry about, what we were just kids. We did things. We spent time. We learned. We saw rights and wrongs. There were some kids that weren't the best of kids, but they would come around, but we all would find a common ground and do something. Kids stealing stuff and things like that. And well, we stayed out of that stuff. We were smart enough. Would we get in trouble? Yeah, we'd do something stupid at some point, but we learn from it. We get taught a lesson, and it was different. It was growing up. People don't do that now. They don't. It's too busy. Hate. Too much hate. But that's where I took things, and that's where I went. Okay. I was just making sure there's no other comments. But I just wanted to clear all those things up and put everything to bed and go back to just, I talk about things like this every Sunday, but, during the week, you're going to get a ton of gaming videos and things like that. So I'm going to tell you again, go Hawks, go. Let's hope, I'm going to tell this story. Oh God, I'm going to go over an hour. I know it. So yesterday we went out to Daytona. I took my daughter out, and we go to the Polish place because we're Polish, and we had lunch together and stuff like that. And then we went to the outlets because she needed some boots. And I'm walking around, and I got my Seahawk t-shirt, and I see these Patriot fans, and they are all decked out, and they see me with the Seahawk thing because I'm probably the only stupid Seahawk fan in Florida at times. And I'm walking, and they bow up. They bow up. Like they wanted to say something. And I go, oh my God, just grow up. You want to know something? I hope to God they're all crying in their nacho cheese tonight. Because I don't even think I could watch the game, to be honest with you, to a degree. But I'll tell you this much. It's funny how arrogant, especially Patriot fans are. They won everything. They deserve everything. They're a great team. I'm afraid, Vrabel's a very great coach. I think he's a more seasoned coach than our coach. A young guy, a lot of ideas, can do a lot of things with them. That team's, they got an offensive coordinator that's been in 9 Super Bowls. He's going to know how to deal with our defense. It's going to be hard. I'm not too, I'm hopeful. I'm praying. But, if we lost, I wouldn't be shocked. So, but I'm just hoping that I can just get this one. So, there you go. That's all I got to say about Super Bowl. Hi, Rob. Had a great time last week at the War Game Trade Show here in UK. Picked up a few things and popped into an American-style diner and had a meal. Was a very nice treat. Oh, that's cool, John. I hope you had a great time. I think Recon's coming up in February. I got to see. I think I might try to go to it. I may not. It depends what kind of time I have. We'll see. My life is the farm, my job, my family, my grandkids. Oh, and I started to tell you about that video game thing that him and I play. He loves Gremlins, so we're playing Gremlins. And, the NES games are hard. Hard. But I said, you got to keep on trying. He kept on dying. Because it's too hard. I go, that's right, it's too hard. I go, if you won easy, what's the point? It ain't fun, is it? You just win and that's it. But he got through the first level, and he was so proud of himself. And then, I was sitting there. I think video games are okay if you interact, like I interact with them. I do things with them, and I talk them through things. If they get stuck someplace, I help them with something or something. I mean, there's certain games that are just fun. I grew up on video games. But am I going to make them my life? No. Am I not going to socialize and still go out and play ball, go to the gym, and do all the things I like to do, even at this age? No. Balance, folks. It's all about balance. Compassion, balance, and listening, and love. If we can have those things, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. There's still hope. Never give up hope. Hope is the greatest of things. I got that from Shawshank Redemption. I hope you're well. I hope this. I hope you all have a great Sunday. I hope the Seahawks win. Because hope is the greatest of things. And if you have hope, you can always keep moving forward. And I think that's a beautiful thing. My dear friends, hopefully I'm not sad the next time I see you. Okay? I wish you all the best today. And I hope I cleared up a lot of things. And if I keep on getting emails, I'll just keep getting emails. If you think you hurt me, you don't. You don't. Because like I've said a million times before, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And all I care about is what I do here, staying in my lane and enjoying myself. And for those channels that want to stir shit, well, keep doing it, because you're always going to find marks that are going to follow you. But you're not helping the problem. You're making it worse. Okay? All for some cheap views. Well, if that's the way you want to do it, you have every right to. Because it is a free country. Okay? You do have a right. And that's the thing. People have rights. Okay? So, bye, Ron. Keep up the good job. I keep following you. Well, thank you, my brother. You're a good man. And I'm very blessed with all the people that follow. Yes, my favorite games were point and click adventures or text. Yeah, they were so much fun. You had to think. You had to problem solve. You had to it wasn't just first person shooting somebody, which is fun at times, but have things challenge you. Think, play chess, open your horizons, open your world. It's a big world. We've just made it small. But once you experience it and get out and experience it, it's a lot better than looking at a screen. My 2 cents, my dear friends. Until next time. Hello from Texas, Lord Yavi. Until next time, my dear friends. that you're old, and I am old, and I'm feeling it. Pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you next week. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.